We've gutted Garthax. Now it's time to get going to godhood this week on The Hapless Heroes.
I'm going to continue ruining breakfast.
Hello and welcome back to the Hapless Heroes podcast. My name is Dave and I will be your host and dungeon master for this evening. We're going to start this evening the same way I start every evening because I lack creativity, but also because we love continuity. So we'll start on my right with Francesco as the fabulous Felix Fizzlebottom.
We like continuity? That wasn't part of the plan.
It is right, we have John as Lord Jarrell the Light.
That was a fantastic nap.
To his right, we have Nicole as Boris the Butcher.
I've been here the whole time.
To her right, we have James as Hoblet the Smasher.
Good evening, friendos.
Mike is unable to be with us tonight due to some out-of-game emergencies, so we're just going to kind of weekend at Bernie's it with him, and he'll roll back as we get going.
Speaking of just about how much we love continuity.
Right.
So to recap, and by we, I mean everybody but me, because I was playing Garthax, killed Garthax and Stevedore, and then decided to shack up in his house for the night. Because why the hell not?
I mean, no one else is using it now, so I guess,
It was comfier than the basement floor.
No
You
one
mean our
that
house?
you know of.
It's our house. We came in, we killed the dude that lived here. It's ours.
Is that
That's
how
how
that
it
works?
We're
Really wanna linger
Americans,
here.
dude. That's exactly
that
how it works.
We're Teldurians,
Yeah.
Hoblet.
We're bigger, we're stronger, we're taking your house.
Awful.
Awful.
We did brutally murder the butler.
And the homeowner.
Well, to be fair, the butler turned out to be a tentacle monster, and the homeowner turned out to be a demon. So I guess, if anything, we did the realms a favor. However, there is one crucial detail that we are omitting from the killing Garthax thing, in that the diamond that he trapped Hedrick in was shattered into, what did you say, five or six pieces? Five pieces. 5 identical pieces that Felix is now carrying, trying to figure out how the fuck we save Hedrick, because he's trapped in those 5 identical pieces.
And
need to put Hedrick back together again.
The spell Mend does not apply to magical items, so...
That sucks.
Okay, even if it did, it wasn't going to apply here anyway. I'm not letting you take the easy way out on this one.
Right.
You're either going to find a hidden quest or you're not, and Hedrick is going to be in a 5-part diamond forever.
And so, yeah, we're coming out of a long rest. We were instructed that there was a door right inside of Garthax's chamber that led to beyond, wherever.
But we're
beyond
still
is.
in Legrodex.
Yes, we did find that out too, right? So that this domain, or wherever we are, is still part of Legrodex, this like weird space outside of time and like the planes. It's sort of like this like weird way station, like in between everything. And so even though that we were in another part of Legrodex before, we just like hopped down to some magical chute and we ended up in a different part of Legrodex. So where Legrodex ends is really a mystery, because it seems that we're just kind of like moving laterally at this point, and we're not ascending as we should be.
Right.
Whatever that means, whatever that looks like, that's, I don't know if we're actually doing it or not.
Oh, is ascension literal or figurative?
That's a great question.
Well, we tried the literal one by going up the stairs, and that didn't play.
And it was up until it wasn't up, because
Right.
then up became down and down became up.
Yeah, that was confusing. Anyways, so I'm assuming, we're all waking up at different times. I do recall, and I'm not sure if this was in the recording or if this was an after recording comment, but that Boris was stealing a bunch of shit.
Well, we will. Yeah, I think Boris had mentioned that, but I would like to sort of explore that. In that, I don't want to cut back to the action in the morning with everyone having woken up, without sort of giving an opportunity for people to get up to whatever late night shenanigans they would choose to be up to.
James,
So, is anything going on during the wee hours of the night?
Is there anything to do?
Well, I can't tell you that.
All right. Well, we're in dude's house, right?
You are in dude's house. Dude, in the concept of possession, is a little muddy at this point, as you have sort of ever so slightly murdered the homeowner.
I need to remind everybody, which, just in case they forgot, the homeowner was a demon. We didn't just...
It's less murder homeowner than smote demon.
Liberate household from demon. Right. We've liberated this household from demonic possession. That's what I'm going to go. That's the angle I'm going at this with.
In the parlance of the military, you liberated the hell out of it.
I will just quickly say that Felix no longer requires sleep.
Is that one of the bonuses of having the third eye of fucking Vecna in your forehead?
No, listen. Oh yeah. Here, I guess I'll put my prop back on.
Just to remind everyone of your shame.
Listen, it was the lab assistants didn't make it. I had to come up with something else. So
yeah, lab assistants keep blowing up. So why don't I just go in next?
I didn't mean to.
You guys can argue this out over breakfast unless you've left
I'm
your
sure
quarters for the evening.
I said.
Or are you just arguing this out in the hall at midnight?
Either way works for me.
I'm just saying Felix does not need to sleep. We'll take a short rest. Actually, I'll take a long rest anyways, right? But that long rest involves me just pretty much pre-ritualizing.
Gross.
Wash your hands afterwards.
Yeah,
and then actually,
in front of everybody.
And then actually ritualizing. Well, like actual ritual. You know what I'm talking about? Like with rituals.
Yeah, we all know the ritual, man. We've all done it. We just
we've all done different rituals. We don't.
Well, sure, to each their own.
You don't pre-ritualize each other.
Yeah.
No.
We have
our own personal rituals.
Yeah.
You have to set that kind of party up ahead of time.
We're talking about magic, right?
I guess. Or we're talking about what Perry Farrell labeled as ritual de lo habitual.
Right.
Which I assume that's what he was talking about with that album. I don't know. I didn't really listen to it.
And actually, I was going to say that Felix was going to use 10 minutes, of this long rest period to ritualize legend lore about Legrodex. I will let you, and we can let that one simmer and marinate, because it says, name a person, place, or object. The spell brings to your mind a brief summary of the significant lore about the thing you named. It might consist of current tales, forgotten stories, or even secret lore that has never been widely known. If the thing you named isn't of legendary importance, you gain no information. I would say, and argue, that Legrodex is of some sort of legendary importance, as a lot of gods seem to hang out here. And it says, the more information you already have about the thing, the more precise and detailed the information you receive is. So I guess it's based on how much I already know that I glean more knowledge based on what I don't know about what I already know.
Okay. So, yeah, give me a minute to simmer on that, and we'll just sort of make it around the loop, and we'll get back to you. So, Jarrell, what is Jarrell doing with his night?
I would say that he very much struggled to try to get his armor off, which he's broken things trying to do that before. He gave up kind of after like maybe a half an hour and just crashed on one of the big beds. And that's what he's doing for the night. When he wakes up, it'd probably be, a full 8 hours from there.
Wonderful. So, yeah, ever so slightly sore from sleeping in at least parts of your armor. But otherwise, just peachy. So, Boris, I hear you're up to some larcenous activities.
Yeah, Boris does not announce that she's going to steal things. She's going to explore the mansion and may or may not happen to pocket a few choice items
real quick.
during her adventures.
We were all in the same space, right?
We were all in the kitchen and like
Okay.
working on food at the time that we kind of left off last time.
Did you sneak out?
Oh hell yeah!
Did I notice?
Almost
Probably
definitely
not.
not.
I don't think anyone does whenever Boris sneaks away because she
Okay.
is so proficient.
You can
at this.
try if you'd like to roll for it.
I don't think she can roll below a 23.
That is correct.
Right.
You have to beat.
I'll never
if-
get there. I'll never.
Right,
get there.
exactly. Even
I
with
was
that
more or
money-
less wondering if Hoblet might have seen her or seen Boris leave, then gone to partake in the same debauchery. But if I don't see you leave,
You
then
have
there's
to
no
go and
chance that I'm
partake in
coming.
your own.
How
No.
long is Boris gone for? Let's play this game. Maybe I
Better
can get
question:
it. Maybe
how much time passes before you even notice?
Well,
that she's
right.
gone?
That's what I'm getting at. Like, are you dipping out and back, or do I have time to notice that she's gone?
This is a skill area for Boris, so she would have like left for a bit while you guys were working on like making food, or whoever was making dinner, been back in time for food, and then like done any other shenanigans that she was continuing like before going to sleep. So
Because
they would have been spread
debauchery
out.
is one of Hoblet's skills.
So okay, at
So-
one point in Boris's adventures throughout the night, then she kind of like intentionally eyes Hoblet, like gives him.
Yeah,
a
I
side
just want
eye.
to do something because I feel like I would look for shit too.
And-
Maybe
and-
we run into each other while I'm exploring.
and kind of grabs Hoblet and heads toward the front door of the mansion, and pulls out a dagger and carves H into the front door to claim ownership of the house.
I like it already.
It's HOT. We are the heroes of Telduria,
Oh yeah, that's true. Right.
but I can't comment on that, so HH it is.
Yeah,
Or
No, I
HOT.
like the HH.
HOT would make more sense.
HOT went down from the first H.
There was a Hedrick rap about our acronym, right?
True.
We're hot.
Yeah.
Formerly Ho-Kov. We're hot. Formerly Ho-Kov.
Hedrick, I wish you weren't in 5 different pieces right now.
I know.
Me too!
two to 3 pieces would be manageable, but 5 seems like just
How do you write a song like that?
right.
All right, so correction.
All
We'll carve HOT because we're not advertising the podcast. We're
Hey.
advertising our
Oh
heroes.
shit!
If you really love us.
Is it bad to go looking for booze with I don't know how many years have passed. I forget how old Boris is, but
She's
I
still
feel like
13.
I shouldn't go searching for booze with a 13-year-old girl. And
She already has a pocket full of beer, and there's like wineskins.
Yeah,
I
like
guess so.
yes,
I guess you're right.
pocketed
I'll-
too.
I'll-
I'll
Right.
question Boris out loud if we should go looking for alcohol together.
maybe, yeah.
Boris just hands you a wineskin from her from like a pocket. She literally hands you like a 5-liter bag of
All
wine.
That
So-
came from Clangeddon's place.
Nice. Oh, the good stuff. I forgot you had some of this. Much obliged.
I feel like, right, we should also probably note, right, like, while we, the people who are playing these characters, do not condone underage drinking, this is a different world and time
right.
where there's probably not necessarily rules about underage drinking. We still don't condone it and don't necessarily want to highlight that, but it can happen.
I
It
have
has been
children.
mentioned already that Boris has had like a social wine at like activities she's needed to be at as Baroness already.
Yeah. Also,
Right.
I have the feeling that it is not illegal in the barony of Riverford for the Baron of Riverford to drink whatever the Baron wants.
Right.
Touche, salesman. So yeah, we're just cruising around stealing shit and drinking. Do we find anything cool? I particularly want to look in and around the bed area.
Boris had already stolen a bunch of stuff before finding Hoblet.
Yeah.
Cool.
So there are 6 bedrooms because I've decided that there are 6 bedrooms along that hall. There's 3 on the west wing and 3 in the east wing of the house.
Felix is in one of them.
Yeah, Felix is in a room. Quinn is in a room. And there appears to be a sock on the door. Jarrell has a room and is attempting to sleep fitfully at this point. And yeah, so Hoblet and Boris also have their own rooms. So
So there's no unoccupied rooms?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, there would be one unoccupied out of those because we've got a Felix, we've got a Jarrell, we've got a Quinn, a Boris, a Hoblet, and that is it for the active party currently.
Yep, I want to explore that 6th bedroom. What Boris left of it?
Okay.
With a flask of
Yes.
wine. Boris, you're more than welcome to come with me, knowing that you've already been through here.
I will absolutely come with him, acting like I had never done this before.
Sure
Okay,
enough.
yeah, that sounds good because Boris has absolutely been in that room. But Hoblet, you would have no idea because Boris isn't just a thief. Boris is a competent thief, and therefore the room is left in the exact same state as it was before.
Quick
Let's see
comment.
if we can find anything in here.
Quick comment / question. Are you going to pull a Quinn here, Boris, and not tell the audience at any point in time the list of things that you've stolen?
Happened off camera from everybody else.
The fact that she's not saying anything right away means that is a yes, and she is pulling a Quinn.
I, as the DM, have reviewed the entire list, and I found it all to be in accordance with the codes of whatever I deemed the codes to be at the time, so it's all fine.
Okay. So anything in particular about what I'm assuming might be a couple nightstands, a closet, the bed, anything in here that Boris might have missed?
Well, there appears to be some sort of religious book placed by the Gidgeons in the nightstand.
Okay. Is it in a language I understand?
Yes, and it is the Gospel of Valen.
Okay.
Here?
Yes, because the Gidgeons just place a Gospel of Valen in every nightstand they can find.
Oh my god.
Yes, they do.
How'd they get here?
Could you imagine if that were the case anywhere else? If every hotel room you went in, there was a holy book in the drawer? That would be wild. Good thing this is just a fictional land.
Yeah. Turns out, real life, there is a good reason for that. We're not getting into that because that's not part of the show, so we're going to move along. There are various sets of clothes, more or less human-sized in the closet. That ranges from anywhere from fine formal wear to literal hoodies and sweatpants.
Okay.
Let's see. There is a desk with some stationery, a couple of quills, an ink pot. There's also a sort of a hand mirror on top. I think what else would be in that room?
So nothing of note.
Nothing of note unless you're looking for specific things.
No, I feel like I would probably just be drinking wine, walking around. I'm not like a fucking detective. I'm just looking for cool shit, which it looks like Boris has already cleaned out.
Boris takes the hand mirror for the sake of appearances and making it look like she hasn't already stolen stuff from this room.
Yeah, that's the other thing is a lot of the really interesting stuff was already cleaned out.
Right. James knows that. Hoblet would have no idea.
No.
Ah, fuck. Nothing good in here.
Boris opens a few desk drawers looking for fish food.
Okay.
Boris is unfortunately unsuccessful. Because who would keep fish food if there are no fish?
Boris does mumble out loud, fish food, as she's like in the desk, but doesn't explain herself in any way, and then just kind of wanders away from it as she steals the hand mirror.
Whose fish are you trying to feed?
Nobody.
Okay. Who am I to tell you what to steal? Let's roll. The bedrooms, the kitchen. I mean, I feel like it's kind of a big house, but it's probably getting late and I'm beat as hell.
Yeah, not to mention, like, this house almost seemed like it was staged to just look like a house.
Right.
Like, and it was done in a very lazy manner.
I didn't find anything of note in the empty bedroom. Right.
Else.
So I'm passing out.
Once Hoblet goes to bed, Boris goes to her room, carefully locks her door, gets into bed, pulls a fishbowl out of her pocket and sits it on her nightstand and says, "Good night, Chuck," and then goes to bed.
You named him Chuck.
I love it.
And then puts them back in her pocket the next morning.
Fantastic. So it is written, so it is done. That is exactly what happens. If there's nothing else anybody is trying to cover for the evening hours, we're going to do the... Oh, Felix. Yes. We've got to take care of that legend lore. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what is it that you are trying to find out about Legrodex?
Well, I'm trying to glean information I don't already know about Legrodex. Like, the examples it provides, it says, like, because again, like I said, could be current tales, forgotten stories, or even secret lore that has never been widely known. And it's based on, the information I gain is based on what I don't already know about the place. But it could be, it says, the more information you have about the thing, the more precise and detailed the information you receive is. The information you learn is accurate, but might be couched in figurative language. For example, if you have a mysterious magic axe on hand, the spell might yield this information. Woe to the evildoer whose hand touches the axe, for even the haft slices the hand of the evil ones, etc., etc. So, tell me something I don't know about Legrodex.
Legrodex has the grandest foyer in the universe. Unfortunately, that is sufficiently vague, and it'll make sense at a different time. Let's see. What else?
In what universe? Where the fuck even are we?
See,
Somewhere
that's the
in the
thing about
universe.
Legrodex, is the other thing you do know about Legrodex, and I've got to find, I have a thing with the information on it, and I'm going to find it in this notebook here. There we go. Legrodex is 1 mile in diameter and is perfectly round. Its vertical dimensions, however, are completely unmeasurable. This shaft, 1 mile wide, round, of some sort of material external to the planes, has been jammed through the planes. It's sort of an external intrusion that was jammed in.
And it's a mile in diameter.
It is 1 mile in diameter, and its vertical measurements, such as what vertical would mean in a place like this, are immeasurable.
That's almost makes no sense, but...
Yeah, a mile diameter, but it goes up and down forever.
Possibly.
Not possibly, Dave. It is or it isn't. You're in or you're out, man.
Well, you don't get to know these things. I do.
Or
It
you don't get
also
to
been-
not know those things.
It has also been said, at the topmost point of Legrodex, there is a castle in the clouds.
Okay. Good information to have. Thank you.
So you know those three things: the grandest foyer in the universe, whatever that means, the castle in the clouds, and the vague dimensions and kind of at least the hints of the nature of Legrodex.
All right, so when everyone else wakes in the morning and after we finish this long rest, I will try to, for anyone who cares to know, will relay some information I learned from my ritual.
Jarrell mumbles, "Oh, that's very interesting, Felix." As he's half in and half out, his chest plate's off, but his pants are his plate mail pants are still on, trying to shuffle through the counters for coffee or something. Only half paying attention, really.
Cool.
Is there any coffee? Are there eggs? Can I make some bacon? Something.
Some
Okay,
fucking French
so-
toast.
There are coffee grounds. There is a way to make coffee in this kitchen. It's one of those old-timey coffee pots that you've got to put on top of stove. But yes, it has all of the parts. There are coffee grounds in a sealed container.
Jarrell hands Felix the coffee grounds in the container and the coffee pot.
There are eggs in the ice chest. They are kind of faintly pink and about the size of baseballs. They're perfectly spherical.
This is usually something that Pragnar does. I don't even know how to... I don't do this thing.
Yes, I mean, Sven and Hans usually make my breakfast. Do you know how to
Jarrell,
make eggs? And
there's a
Jarrell is
time and a place-
physically
there's a-
looking at eggs.
There's a time and a place to learn everything, Jarrell. Here you go. Have fun, bud.
So
I'm not your chef.
does Jarrell roll a performance for how well he cooks all these eggs? I'm cooking all the eggs.
I believe it would be a survival check.
That's it.
Now, the search for bacon, however, comes up surprisingly empty. You would think a place as well apportioned as this, and that has decent stores, would have bacon. Unfortunately, you are unable to find any kind of cured meats whatsoever.
Except for the floor bacon that Boris cooked on my forehead and is now on the steps outside of this place.
Yes, the floor bacon is still where it was. No animals have come to take it during the night. Should you be of a mood to go all the way out to the front to go search for it?
That's like month-old floor bacon too.
It's been in an extra dimensional space, like in her pocket. But
Does that mean it holds longer? I guess. I rolled an 11 on my egg cooking.
Are you discussing the bacon?
Your eggs are nothing spectacular, but nobody will get ill from eating them. They are delicious. Well, delicious might be a bit of a stretch, but they have nutritional value. You won't go hungry. No one's going to get sick from them.
Cool.
Jarrell probably doesn't know how to season things.
Yeah,
No.
Not quite enough salt or pepper.
Were you discussing
Or
the
any.
bacon search out loud while you were cooking eggs?
Yes, probably. Looking for at least some meat
Boris
outside of the
pulls
eggs.
a handful of fresh bacon out of her pocket and looks kind of defeated, but hands it over.
Was this bacon on the floor as well?
No, this was in the fridge yesterday.
Love it. Can Jarrell roll to see how well he cooks the bacon?
Oh God.
Absolutely. Make it a survival check.
Got it.
Okay, did you get an A or an F?
F.
Fantastic.
Raw bacon?
No, he fucking
yeah.
burns it to a crisp.
You burnt it straight back to the Paleolithic era.
I would eat burnt bacon before I ate raw bacon.
Ew, it smells like bacon in here.
It smells like, bacon. All right.
Yeah, the stuff that that her robot dog just vaporizes whenever it gets put inside.
We haven't heard from the robot dog in a while. Is the robot dog still in a pocket, perhaps?
The robot dog is still in a
Oh,
pocket.
no, wait. Yeah, the robot dog did come along. Yes, we
Yeah,
did
it's
not
in a
try to
pocket.
channel the big spell through the dog because we were too smart for that.
Quick hold.
Well, Dave, it's up to you to do the riff. Unless you want me to literally just to clip that of me saying
No.
it.
I can do that, but only if the dog is actually around and not in an extra dimensional space inside a teenager's jacket.
Yeah, it's safely in a pocket right now.
Fantastic.
I will note that on my list, the bacon that I stole did specifically say a handful of bacon that did not fall on the floor. So I did clarify in my notes that this was not floor bacon.
Yes, I confirm it is not floor bacon.
It is an important distinction to make.
Just as an aside, did you hand over your entire supply of bacon, or did you keep some in reserve?
I handed over the entire supply. It just said a handful, so it wasn't that much bacon.
Fabulous.
It was, whatever a bacon package worth of bacon would have been. So
Like a pound of bacon.
What's a pound here? I don't know. Maybe in Canada they bag their bacon too. I don't know. Canadian bacon's fucking weird.
no, you can also get a kilogram of bacon though. Like that's definitely a real package size. That's an option.
Just
Kilo of bacon?
Yeah.
Love it.
all right. You burnt the shit out of that bacon. Was that with a 1 or just a low roll?
No, it was a 1. Yeah.
It was a 1. Yeah. Yeah. No, that bacon is so burnt as to be inedible.
Okay. With a roll of a 1, do I know it shouldn't be eaten?
Well, I'm gonna say that it's not so much that it shouldn't be eaten. It won't damage you. Pride me.
The people on the other floors of Legrodex know it shouldn't be eaten.
Right.
Yes. Speaking of which, no one has seen Quinn yet this morning.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna hate myself for this, but I'm gonna go check on him.
I'm going to
Fabulous.
continue ruining breakfast.
I'm gonna come with you to check on Quinn. Although
Okay.
breakfast smells delicious, Jarrell, you just keep going. I'm sad that I have to leave. Right.
Meanwhile,
Hoblet's
Hoblet's sitting at the table with a plate full of burnt bacon, just going to town.
Hoblet, go to town on that bacon.
Is there still a sock on Quinn's door?
There is.
Oh boy, I'm gonna knock 3 times.
3 times you have knocked. No current response.
Well, I knocked. I'm gonna open the door.
You're breaking the code. Sock on the door. Not a good
It's time to
choice.
go! What do you want me to do?
Boris
Quinn is
doesn't
not
understand what the
responsible for
sock
what you
means,
see.
so she just yells, "Quinn, breakfast!" and kind of like sticks her head in the room.
Sticking your head in, you do notice 4 feet sticking out from under the covers. 2 sets.
Boris pulls her head back quickly and closes the door again, and then looks at the sock and just goes, "Oh."
Does some quick
turns
math
to
of like
Felix.
where everyone is. Whose feet could those be?
Right, yeah, Felix is doing the same thing. If she told me that there was another pair of feet in there, seeing as how we were the only people aside from Garthax and Stevedore here, and Garthax and Stevedore are both like puddles of goo.
So what Boris turns to Felix and says is, "How many legs does Quinn have?"
He definitely has 2.
Now he has 4.
You want to know, but you don't want to know.
I mean, we need to get him. Even if he's like passed out, we need to like drag his ass to wherever we're going. I mean, should we just leave him a note?
You can't
Hey,
leave
we're
people notes in places like this.
Jarrell, this bacon is delicious.
Like, hey, we're going through the door, bud. Like, try to catch up.
These eggs aren't half bad either.
Boris, pulls a notepad and a pen out of her pocket and just writes "ketchup" on a piece of paper and
Like
pulls it
spelled
off.
ketchup.
Yes, now just spelled ketchup. and instead of like sticking it to the door, pulls a creepy porcelain doll out of another pocket and faces it towards the door, holding the note that says ketchup.
Awesome.
Done.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. He'll figure it out. He's smart. He'll have a story to write, if anything, at the end of this. I'm gonna try to gather the rest of the crew.
Jarrell and Hoblet have eaten all of the eggs, and Jarrell is nibbling on the last piece of burnt-ass bacon.
I don't need to eat either, so I don't care.
Let's doing like the
You're right.
getting the last little burnt bits out of his giblets.
Of his giblets.
Okay. So Quinn has at least been slightly undressed, but addressed.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Jarrell will ask, where is he?
Dressed.
Okay. How do I explain this? Quinn is with someone right now. Intimately. I have no idea who this someone is or where they came from. But he seems like he's okay.
You believe that in this otherworldly realm, he just randomly met someone and they hooked up and we should just go? Is that what you're trying to say?
Searched the whole house for whores last night. There were none.
You are welcome, Terrell, to go in there and deal with that situation yourself. I want nothing to do with that.
Jarrell is totally going to try. He's going to pick up the chest plate that still isn't on and like be trying to like attach it as he goes up. There's stairs that go to the room.
Hold
right?
on. Hoblet's gonna put his hand on Jarrell's chest. You never disturb a man when he's with a lady of the night.
We can't
Or
just
man.
wait for him. We can't just leave him here either.
With
Who
a
knows
human,
when we'll
right?
see
With a
him.
human of the night. We can't.
You don't even know it's human. You
It could be a creature of the night for all we know.
What's the PC term? What can I say to not offend?
No, it's not about it's not about offending. It's about the fact that the possibilities are just kind of endless in this scenario.
a being of the night.
Technically, it's a being of the morning at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need a term that encapsulates all manner of creatures because we don't know where the fuck we are or what kinds of things can show up.
I know we'll be leaving him, but he knew what he was getting into.
I left him a note.
See, Boris left him a note.
Jarrell will shake his head and continue on. So he's still storming, pretty much. He'll pick up the porcelain doll with the note that just says ketchup on it. Put that down. Look at the sock for a second. And then use Divine Sense.
Divine Sense turns up nothing.
Okay.
He's fine.
He's totally fine. Does Hoblet follow?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
not. When he walks past me, it's kind of like a bro, don't go in there. And he's going in there like, I'm not gonna fight you, dude, but sometimes you can't unsee things.
Jarrell's hand is going like back and forth, like he's going, but he doesn't want to touch the sock. Like he's thinking about like what the sock means, and he's looking at Hoblet. Not
Just
really sure.
literally just standing behind you.
Right? Trying not to like laugh or show any.
Mm-hmm.
Because Jarrell cannot be afraid, he will open the door.
Okay, Jarrell, you open the door. Do you leave the door open behind you, or do you close it behind you as you enter the room? And
I
does anyone-
open it from the hallway. I don't want to get involved and seduced by the Quinn.
Okay. So, let's see, Hoblet, are you there?
Yeah, let's say I'm in a spot in the hallway where I can see into the room past Jarrell. I'm like
Okay.
almost maybe next to him, but a little behind him, if that makes sense.
And I won't send that by DM, and I will just out loud. Quinn rolls over and mutters. A mannequin foot falls out from the covers.
Hoblet just turns around and walks back to the kitchen. Right around, no words. Right around, right back to the kitchen. Dad doesn't even wait to see what Jarrell does. Right back to the kitchen. And I'm muttering under my breath, this is why you don't open the door. This is why you don't open the door.
You think their foot fell off, didn't you?
I don't know what I think, but this is exactly why. I don't need to know what you're into. The door's closed. Nobody's dead or screaming like they're hurt, then you're fine.
Does Jarrell come back with the porcelain doll that had the note on it? Or did you put it back where
No, I
Boris had
put it
left
back.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you do though? I'm gone. I'm outie. Are you staying? Are you talking to him? What are you doing?
Trying to decide if we continue on our quest with him at this point in the Legrodex or not. So I guess we have to. He's passed out.
With the mannequin. Yeah.
Well, at least
Yeah,
part
well,
of the
it-
mannequin.
Yeah.
It's all be a ploy for Quinn to expand the legend of Quinn.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Something fun.
Could be something else really weird.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Sure.
Anyhow, okay.
I already know more than I want to know.
So instead of dawdling over breakfast any longer, we should probably get this plot moving a little bit.
Yeah, let's roll.
I would say so, yes.
All right. So we're just going to and fast forward to the party back down in the basement area. Some more black nastiness has receded, although the corpses of Stevedore and Garthax are still plainly visible on the floor in the room because nobody did anything with them.
No, Stevedore is a gross corpse. Like his head went through his butt. Like we're not touching that guy.
I mean, they're both pretty gross at this point. In fact, it's all pretty gross. But that door that was pointed at is now more.
No, we did. Hold on, I don't want to make this bad. We did. Didn't we bring that dude back to life and like make him tell us a bunch of shit?
Yes,
We took his skull, which is now
We have
in
yeah.
Boris's pocket, and we
You're
have
right, but the body
one
is
question.
still there.
We have one
Okay.
question left to ask it, and we have however long that Speak with Dead lasts to ask the final question of it.
Though Zone of Truth may long be gone.
Yeah, Zone of Truth is definitely gone.
Though we could implement it again if needed.
And as I recall, I do have the note: 10 days of a verbally abusive demon skull. You have 9 days remaining of a verbally abusive demon skull.
Or unless we get rid of it.
Correct. Or if you ask it the final question, I believe.
Well, we still get to keep the skull. We just can't talk to it anymore.
Yes, you would still have a skull, but at that point it would no longer be verbally abusive. It would be merely an inert demon skull. But there you are in the room with the door.
I'll open it.
The door opens to another room, another tower spiral staircase thing, except that this spiral staircase just goes up and up and up, literally as far as the eye can see, circling this room counterclockwise as it ascends.
Well, I guess we start climbing.
Yep.
All right.
Let's go.
You have a hell of a climb ahead of you. If you are climbing looking for the next exit, you go quite a ways.
How tall is each step?
They are all the standard, what is it, like 8 inches or something like that? Whatever standard steps are. I'm not going to go to the stairs and measure them, but whatever standard stairs are, that's it.
Oh, there's a penis joke in there, but I won't make it.
Yeah. It is.
You just did. You just did, though. By just saying that, you already made the joke.
At 8 inches, it is about 10,000 steps to the top.
You have to understand, 8 inches is like nearly half my height. So I'm like I'm like winded by the time we've gone up a good amount of these.
Once Jarrell realizes how winded, in the fact that Felix is like
how many
100
steps did we
behind
go up?
him.
10,000. Roughly a mile and change vertically.
And Jarrell
We're
can go up
7,500
5
feet in the air.
Right. Yeah.
So do we all make it without? Do we need to like roll anything to get up here? Or
I
we just-
need Jarrell to carry me
Yes.
once we get up a few thousand steps.
I
Yes.
imagine like at first Jarrell has you like on his back and then like in his arms like a baby in the like over his
Are there
shoulder.
any windows? Like, can we see anything, or is it just like
no, not a damn thing.
Well,
They are standard, like castle tower blocks. So maybe foot and a half wide, 8 inches high. That
Well, because
sort of
with no windows, it probably gets dark going up. But my character has dark vision,
Fucking God, I knew it.
so we can see. We can still see while we're going.
And
up.
Boris has a lantern.
Whilst it would be naturally dark, between the dark vision and the fact that I am just taking for granted that someone has the presence of mind to either throw a light cantrip on something or light a lantern. We're not going to get into the minutia here because there's just too much climbing to be done.
All right.
By the time the entire party reaches the top, time has passed. How much time? You're not really sure unless someone's keeping track of it, because there are no windows and you sort of exist outside time and space in this place anyway.
It's kind of irrelevant.
Yeah. But you're all fucking exhausted by the top, except for maybe Felix, who was getting to get carried the whole time.
Thanks, bud.
Felix gets up and he's like, ah!
But yeah, the proverbial dogs are barking. And when you get to the top, there is another door identical to the one you entered from the bottom.
If we open this and it's another set of stairs, I'm going to be real mad. I open the door.
Open the door into what initially appears to be a hallway extending to the left or right, but on closer inspection, the hallway to the left sort of curves to the right ever so slightly. The hall to the right curves to the left ever so slightly. And if you look across the hall, you can see what appears to be almost a window across the entire wall, stretching as far to the left and right as the eye can see. All the stars in the universe, it seems, constellations, comets, and everything are visible through this infinitely wide window. Save for what appears to be some sort of ramshackle device set up just across the hall into the right a little bit. You can also see that where you entered through the door, it appears that there is some sort of arch thing that was there that has been in some sort of state of destruction or disassembly. Kind of like it's stone. It has runes carved into it. These runes appear to, on this one at least, be just almost sort of random lines crisscrossed across each other, although it is the exact same pattern of them on several different blocks. It looks very much like almost like a Stargate.
I'd like to, if I can, see if maybe I can use like my knowledge of Arcana to determine maybe what this was used for prior to its destruction. Is that
okay? Yes, you can make an Arcana check.
17?
17. Man, it looks like maybe a portal conduit of some sort, but it has definitely been disassembled, and the parts have been moved elsewhere.
Okay. Interesting.
If we're just specifically looking at the stone, I never get to use this, but I'm like wicked proficient in stone cutting. Whenever I make an intelligence check related to the origin of stonework, I'm considered proficient, and I double my proficiency bonus. So is there more to know about this, or would we just only need to know that it's a thing that's being taken apart?
It's been taken apart.
Could I tell how long ago? Is it recently been taken apart, or
are you using what ability or skill would you be using
history,
to find this? It's going to be a history check. Okay, make the check, and we'll see what I can tell you.
Fuck off. Fuck off. Are you fucking kidding me? I go through this whole GD speech about how I'm proficient in fucking stone cutting just to roll a GD nat 1. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm sorry.
So I can add 8 to it if I want to, but I still rolled a nat
It's actually
1.
no. You actually add 10 because your proficiency is 5 at level 14.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and technically
not
this
my
is
history skills.
Technically this is not the sort of check you can actually crit fail anyway. We do it because it's fun and funny. But let's see. So that would be what, an 11 or whatever that it winds up being. This stone itself is alien to you. All of the stone that this place is made of, since you have left that faux chateau, as it were, is... You can tell that it's stone. You have no fucking clue where it's come from. All you know is that it was never dug out of Telduria, that's for sure.
Interesting.
Also, I'm sorry, but Faux Chateau is like my new favorite.
Yeah, yeah. That's the greatest phrase I've ever heard in my life.
I'd only thought of that when we were trying to name those episodes.
I still like Macabre Boutonniere, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. Macabre Boutonniere. I can mangle language sometimes. All right.
It's the perfect usage of it.
Oh, yeah.
That is. We've done worse. Now, you said that there are runes on it?
There are runes on this one, yes.
Can Jarrell roll a religion check to see if he recognizes any of it?
Sure.
That's much better than that nat 1. that I rolled earlier. It's a 22.
Yeah.
That's a 7.
I mean, religion doesn't tell you a lot about the planes, but what it does, you have occasionally seen this conglomeration of scratches to be associated with the plane of limbo.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
But the portal itself is destroyed.
I'm going to walk over to the device.
Okay, so the device just across the way, and it looks almost like, yes, some of the blocks that this device is made of are made from the disassembled and destroyed portal across the way. Other things you will notice, just to the left of it, there is a wooden crate. It has been here for a while. It is covered in a considerable amount of dust. The portal itself is there, inert. It has a lever on it, though. But the lever appears...
Wait, the portal or the device? Is a portal here too? I'm sorry.
It's a device that may be portal-like. It's shaped somewhat the same as what was across the hall, but it is smaller and significantly more ramshackle.
Before I flip the lever, I'm going to look inside the crate.
Well, on top of the crate, under a large amount of dust, is a note.
Oh. What does the note say?
Are you going to be reading this note to yourself first, or are you going to?
No,
be
I'm going to read it
to.
I'm going to read it to everybody, but I'm going to hold it close so that Habla doesn't take it away from me and, like, I don't know, eat it or burn it or something.
Okay, excellent.
Good
Let me
idea.
Just
You've learned.
We'll paste it in green room, maybe.
Sure. Or episode notes.
Wait,
Oh,
did
that's
I
even
do
better.
something?
I'll read it out loud.
Okay.
I am the one holding it. So it looks like it's written in inhumanly impeccable handwriting here.
Yes, we're talking, you would think it came off a printer if printers existed, but only on close examination can you tell it was actually written in some kind of pen or ink or quill or something like that. The letters are all perfectly formed. Also, where there are brackets, that whatever words were there were physically cut from the paper, like with a razor.
Okay, so it looks like it says to blank heroes of the kingdom of Vesh, Telduria, and blank. Time, and I can see was and will be were crossed out, is short. So I was unable to set everything up, but this should be sufficient for the tasks at hand. If you are reading this, you likely, also crossed out, will have been successful. You may also not. You could also be both outcomes. Your mileage will almost certainly vary, in parentheses, confirmed. Anyhow, first, when the alarm goes off, you'll know, pull down the lever at the emergency planar multi-factor door, count to 3, then pull it back up again. Do not deviate for any reason. Second, very important, break the lever off and throw it into the chasm. Do not reactivate the EPMD for any reason thereafter. Third, take a monocle from the box. It may come in handy, but if not, you'll die stylishly. Fourth, do what comes naturally like you always have and will. Make it count. A. Postscript. Don't let Hoblet eat this note! A.
Good thing you didn't give that to me, because if you did, I would have read that sentence and eaten that fucking note.
Yes.
Okay, listen,
Dare
everybody.
me to eat a note.
You heard me read this, so just back the fuck away and just let me do this. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, first of all, look around. Is there currently any sort of chasm that I can see to reference as far as where I'm supposed to throw this lever as part of this step 2?
All right. So, on a light, not investigatory investigation, you do find a few things. One, there is no actual window there. It just sort of opens up into the nothing.
Oh God. Okay.
Like there's no glass. It's just.
But we're also not.
beyond
But we're
out
also
there.
not in a vacuum, so that's good to know.
That is correct. One other thing that you might have noticed, especially if you picked that note up at all instead of reading it there, is it feels quite brittle. as this paper and the entire note is very old.
Weird. But okay.
Yeah, like Declaration of Independence kind of old.
I'm going to carefully place it into my bag of holding.
All right, it is carefully placed.
Okay. And then the second thing I'm going to do before, again, pulling the lever is open the box.
All right, inside the box, there are many monocles.
Okay. I'm just going to say to the party, okay, everybody just take one and put it on.
Jarrell gladly walks over, picks up a monocle, and puts it on.
For good measure,
All right.
I'm going to put one on my eye and one on the third eye.
Okay,
Boris is going to put one on and then put a handful in a pocket.
all right. Just make a note that you have that many monocles. All right, so
Hoblet?
everybody has
Wait,
a monocle,
Hoblet?
whether...
Oh, I said I came up and put one on.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And now I'm going to say, okay, now everybody back away just a little bit. What I'm going to do now is pull... Well, okay. There's no alarm happening yet, right?
Not yet.
There's only two directions this lever can go, up and down.
It's already up. Yeah.
It's already up.
Yes, because when the alarm goes off, pull it down, count to 3, pull it back up again.
But there is no alarm happening yet.
Not yet.
Okay. Waiting for an alarm then.
We all have our monocles on.
Yes. And after a healthy couple of minutes, what sounds like an old-timey alarm clock starts going off.
Oh, God.
Okay,
Okay, all right. I'm going to pull down the lever and go
you
1,
pull the lever.
2.
There is nothing,
3.
and it just before 3, a McGoogle blasts out of the hole.
Hello. Okay, I'm gonna
Accompanied by
Pregnant!
Yes.
Is it you?
It's pregnant.
Jarrell runs over to hug Pregnant in the biggest paladin hug ever
Yeah,
recorded in.
I still pulled the lever back up at 3 because
Yes, you
I
did.
am not deviating for any reason.
Yes, one thing that you notice that the others in their joy may not have is that he blasted through with the sounds of screaming and the smell of smoke and death.
Good.
Sorry, I farted.
But yes,
I just hugged you too hard. It's okay, Pregnant.
Yeah.
Pregnant down.
It's some
Or
shit.
hold the lever back up as you are instructed.
I have done that. And then I'm supposed to break the lever off, which I will attempt to do.
Strength check.
I'm going to pull in help for this after. Hey, -1 is a 13.
Yeah, 13 won't quite do it, unfortunately.
Jarrell sees you trying to break it.
Yeah, I'm going to ask Jarrell.
Wait, yeah.
I'm going to ask
Okay.
Jarrell to please help me break this lever off and then throw it ahead into the abyss. Please.
It went to an 18 and then stopped on a 4, so I only got a 14 on it.
Still not quite enough. You struggle, you hear some creaking, but that's about
Hoblet.
Hoblet has his back turned to you both now. He's
Hoblet,
turned his
please
back.
break this lever. You read the instructions. Or you heard me read the instructions.
Oh, you need a real man to accomplish the task.
Oh my god, I knew he was going to do this.
Jarrell's
come on,
helping
that
him.
one. Come on, that one, baby.
No, don't.
Advantage.
Don't cheer for that.
Yeah, if I will it into existence, it won't happen.
it. If you can will dice rolls by the power of your mind, you should have a better job than you do now.
Or you shouldn't have a job and you should be at
Right.
a casino.
That's
That would be the job.
16?
What now?
16?
16. Yeah, we're going to call that good enough to snap it off.
Oh, Jesus.
With all 3 of us cranking.
All right.
Yes.
Hand me that lever, please.
Do I see the chasm?
Well, yes,
It's
it's
hard to
plainly
miss.
obvious to anyone who is in this hallway.
Hoblet's gonna go act like he's gonna hand it to Felix and then chuck it into the chasm, like the note says.
Okay, well done.
The handle flips and falls eternally.
Oh, it falls.
Aha.
Okay,
It
I had a
falls.
plan.
good to know. Now I will finally be able to turn my attention to our slippery friend.
Yes,
Over here.
Pregnar, you notice that all of your friends are mysteriously wearing monocles.
Where's my monocle? Is that part
You can
of
have mine.
Is that a crew thing now? Is that we have a gang, a monocle gang?
You can totally be part of my monocle gang, Pregnant. By the way, do you have any food with you? My breakfast was terrible.
I just made my signature dragonfly souffle.
Did you bring it with you?
Yes, here it is.
I like how
Hang on,
there's like
I have,
screaming and burning and like death happening in Ardwall, and Pregnant shows up with snacks.
Listen,
A
Mr.
souffle.
Terrell,
Play.
I know that the food is the most important part of any party, so I always bring along my goodies. I have some fresh ground pepper. Say when.
When?
All right.
Now that you've eaten Jarrell, perhaps you could explain why the small fake frog guitar man is here.
Oh, it
Who
must be
we- what-
Valen's
what-
help. Oh, this souffle is delicious, Pregnant.
I'm a real frog.
I wouldn't be questioning
What's
his-
your name, friendo?
I'm the McGoggle who is pregnant.
Jarrell. You know this chap?
Yes, he's been on our ship for a long time. He makes fabulous meatball subs and chicken noodle soup. Oh, it's fantastic.
It's at that point in time that Hoblet's eyes light up and he realizes that he's just ignored Pregnart's existence up until this point in time, but he has eaten his food. Ah! Hello, friendo. Any friend of Jarrell, and apparently my cook, is a friend of mine.
Are you
Jarrell
hungry?
offers you some of the souffle.
Delicious.
I-
I also have half of my BLT from lunch.
I'm sorry, but someone from the past/future set up this elaborate contraption to bring us, of all, no offense, Pregnart, of all people, Pregnart.
Was that
Lord
before or after breakfast?
The Lord Valen works in mysterious ways.
And that's where I want to call the episode right.
Oh!
If you like us, you can find us on the internet. We're in such places as Facebook, search for Hapless Heroes Podcast. We're also both on the Gram and the Twitters at Hapless Heroes. We're also on Reddit /r/Hapless Heroes Podcast. Every single one of those places will have a sticky note or some sort of indicator that will take you to the crown jewel of our internet presence, our Discord server, where you can meet and greet and talk to and hang out with us on a daily basis, as we are all on there and we're all, cool, hip, engaged people on the internet of the future, and that's it's a good place for us to interact with our community. It's a nice, burgeoning, self-sustaining community. We'd love for you to join us. Now, if you really like us, though, you can leave us a 5-star review on the podcast service of your choice. I assume that at this point in your podcasting career, if you have glommed onto the Hapless Heroes at this auspicious episode 201, are we in?
Yeah.
It is.
It's 201. Okay, fantastic. If you have joined us in episode 201, it's possible you've been here for some of the podcasts before, but that you also have a podcast service of your choice. If said podcast service allows you to leave reviews of any kind, 5-star otherwise, please do leave us a review so that we can read it on air and we can recognize you as the 5-star human that you are. Now, if you really like us, you could donate to our Patreon, patreon.com/Hapless Heroes, where we have a variety of reward tiers, from just simply being able to access our super special patrons only channel in Discord. And that would get you access to not just the patrons only channel where we always post with our pinkies in the air, but also some outtakes, some bloopers, some of the things that come from Hedrick's head. Those are available in that channel. They are also available directly from Patreon. At higher tiers, you could even get access to things like Hoblet's notebook from the early part of season 1, or maybe at some indeterminate point in the future, further notebooks from Hoblet full of the disjointing and mad ramblings of everyone's favorite dwarf.
We even have some of the recordings of like the OG like recording test sessions, like from when we first started the podcast. It's pretty cool.
At your own risk and peril, but absolutely do it.
Hey Zach, do you have a Zach for us?
I got a suggestion for our audience to do if they really, really like us. They right now like us, Sally Field and the whole deal. Just floss today.
Doable.
That's it. It's doable. And it's good for you.
Oh, it's so good to have you back.
And if you bleed too much, that means you didn't floss enough in the previous days. I'm sorry.
Just floss harder.
You floss. Floss harder, because that's the more effective. It's not the frequency with which you floss. It's the amplitude.
It's
we all know.
it's the intensity.
Yes. It's not the frequency, it's the amplitude.
That's why I brush my teeth once a week, but I brush them really hard. Just you get everything out in one good shot, and then you're good again for a whole week. And then
sometimes
you guys should try it.
You get everything out, and sometimes even the teeth, and then
right.
It's an easier job next time.
That's how you really know you're brushing good.
You do.
Now, before this gets any further afield, we're just going to go and outro our cast. Please keep in mind that none of these people, me included, are mental or dental health professionals. To my left,
I'm a mental health professional.
Right, I was going to say, John is, and I kind of am.
Okay,
Probably the two that you wouldn't
Sure.
want to go for mental health anyway.
No, definitely not.
Right.
I don't recommend myself, but I do.
Maybe we should. Can we
No,
cut that
here I
out?
was thinking.
Can we
Dr. But yes, I
can we
guess
cut
Warren
that
had
out?
human
He
services.
says. No, you've said it, man.
I'm just kidding.
Regardless, let's outro our cast. We're going to start from my left with Hoblet the Smasher, played by James.
I have a friend who's a frog.
To his left, we have Boris the Butcher, played by Nicole.
We have a frog in our group now?
Speaking of which, on her left, the triumphant return of Pregnart, played by Zach.
I was worried, but his voice is easier during algae season.
To his left, we have Lord Jarrell the Light, played by John.
Until next time.
And to round out the table to his left, we have the fabulous Felix Fizzlebottom, played by Francesco.
Okay, whose plan was this, though?
Yours.
My name is Dave, and I've been your host and Dungeon Master for this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Au revoir.
Bye.
Floss.